Everybody. I'd like to call to order the town board meeting here in the town of Manlius for July 9th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. As always, we are in person in the boardroom. We are also conducting this meeting over Zoom for remote participation for myself, for Councilor Bollinger and Councilor Neshi as well. If you are interested in joining via Zoom to participate in these meetings, you can find the link at the top of each of our agendas. So next up, I would like to ask Councilor Nicholson to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda, we have the oath of office for Officer Heyman. Very excited to have you joining the force. Appreciate you and your family coming out tonight. I'm sure Chief Caselli will say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you, our town board members, our professional staff, and everyone that's joined us, and especially Officer Heyman and his family. I'm really excited to introduce him to you. Brandon's story is really a full circle moment. He grew up here at FM. He walked the same halls at FM High School that many have walked, even in this room. He knows his community, not just its streets, but its people, its pace, and its values. And now he's chosen to serve and protect at that very place. And that says a lot about who he is and why I'm so proud to welcome him. Brandon just recently graduated from the Black River St. Lawrence Police Academy as valedictorian. So we were so very proud to see that. It is a reflection of his hard work, his discipline, and his leadership. Since joining our department, he's already completed the field training process, and he's already proving himself as someone we can rely on. He's sharp, he's steady, he's thoughtful in how he shows up to his work. Brandon's a member of the 174th Attack Wing Security Forces, has been since 2019. So he's serving his community as well as serving his country. He served overseas and is a recipient of numerous awards for his military service. I think as you've come to know when we're together, I talk about our department's vision, and that is to provide service with integrity that exceeds the expectations of our community. Brandon is an exceptional example of that vision in action. He represents not only the future of our department, but the kind of officer that our community can be proud of. So I'm very happy to welcome you to the Town of Manlius Police Department. We're proud to have you, and even prouder to call you one of our own. So I want you to step forward. I'd like you to first introduce your guests.
Of course. So I have my mom and dad here, Rob and Wendy, brother Andrew. Andrew Merrill works on base, and my girlfriend Ellie, who reside up in Cicero right now. Thank you to everyone for allowing me to be here. Thank you to everyone watching.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'll call up our town clerk to swear him.
All right, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Brandon Heyman,
I, Brandon Heyman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't be shy to get his pictures.
Just be careful going through there with
And you'll notice he looks ready for duty, right? Because he has been working on his own since the 4th of July or right before. He's right to work. So he's completed all of those initial phases, and now he's out on his own. And that's why we wanted to bring him here to introduce him to you, our community.
I know. Give me a cell phone, I'll take one with one of the cell phones. You want one with your sister? Here, I can do it here. You gonna share?
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen. Ready, like right here, guys? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you. Great.
You're very welcome. You're welcome.
Congratulations. All right. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, so next order of business, we have open podium. My understanding is we did not have any signups for open podium. Is there anyone here in the audience or in the Zoom audience who is here to make a comment at open podium?
We got one hand raised now.
All right, come on up.
Hi, my name's Dan Ryan. I've been a resident of Fayetteville for the last 8 years. I'm a father of 5, and a lot of the conversations I have, I want to preface this with, over the last 8 years, I've interacted with the Manlius Police Department in multiple ways, and I've had nothing but great experiences. But a lot of the conversations I'm having with people in my local circles of influence are wondering about kind of like national issues and how it's going to impact locally, mainly the masking of police officers. If that's something we have a policy of, if that's something we'll see. My biggest concern is I would like to be able to tell my girls that if anybody is dressed like a police officer, that it's masked, that that's not going to be somebody that's official. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, the son of a Chicago police officer. So I'm concerned about public safety, and I just want to kind of know like kind of where we're at with this debate and the rise of what we're seeing in impersonating police officers nationwide. So I don't know. That was kind of a question that I was bringing tonight. I didn't have anything beyond that, but I wanted to kind of just put it out there. So
Expressing your concern, do we have such a policy?
Our police officers, the town of Manlius Police Department, has only been masked when it's been really a CDC requirement. Once in a while, we'll have officers that are coming off of COVID that may have a mask here, but you don't wear masks. It's not issued. It's not something that's permitted unless it's a medical reason. As far as what other law enforcement organizations do, I have no control over what they do, choose to do, or what their policies are. I can tell you that what I have said to my girls, who are now in their early 20s, is that if there is a time in which that they interface with someone that identifies themselves as a police officer and they don't feel that they are, they can call 911 and ask for response or confirmation of who they're dealing with before they ever answer the door. And if you're dealing with them out in the field, the same type of situation. If you saw Brandon, that's how our police officers look in the field. Other than maybe an additional layer of clothing or Stetson on or things of that nature. Many of them wear an outside carrier that carries their armor and some of their equipment on it. We did that as an organization a number of years ago to kind of lessen the impact to the belt in the back because of the injury process we were seeing. But outside of that, you won't see our people wearing a mask unless it's a medical mask, and it would just be one of these right here. But I've only seen that maybe once or twice in my 2 years here. But it was coming off of COVID, and they didn't want to infect anybody that they were going into these houses. So they just wanted to make sure. So I hope that helps.
yeah, thank you very much. I didn't even know that you would be there or not. It was, it's just something that people are concerned about and wondering about.
I love the fact that you took the time to come in and have a conversation with me. I am accessible all the time. You can reach me right at headquarters, you can call me, come in. I'm always ready to have a conversation. If there's a community gathering which you feel it would be good to have someone from the organization to be there to talk, we're happy to do it. We're your police. We're here to serve. When you call 911, 99.9% of the time, it will be us that's there. And you need to have faith in us, and we need to be able to sit and have a good conversation, and we're not afraid of what that subject may be. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else for open podium? Just a show of hands. Okay. So next up on the agenda, we have a presentation from, I believe, Greg Grates from CHA about the ongoing renovations at the Highway Department. Greg, thank you for being with us. And if you want to dive right into it, feel free.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I want to thank the board, and I especially want to thank Ann, Carrie, Sarah, and especially Rob Cushing, who's been just fantastic to work with on this project. I don't know how much everyone is aware of it, but you're currently doing the town highway garage addition, office addition, and garage addition. We are your construction manager. Schaffer is the architect of record. So currently I did do a report, and I gave it to I did send it to Carrie for everybody, and including in that report is my summary, which I will do monthly. Typically I do it monthly, but if you need it done any other time, we can do it as well. I can move it up. So right now, currently we are on schedule. So that's a great thing. So far so good, knock on wood. The major portion of the project, the pre-engineered metal building, is tracking. It is on schedule. It is set to arrive to the site right around the 16th. So it will come to the site on the 16th, and then erection will start on the 21st. Currently, we are getting out of the ground. We are doing the foundations for both the garage and the office addition simultaneously. So everything's going to go up, and then naturally the focus while they're working on the garage, they're going to be working on the office addition as well, so that Rob can continue his operations. We're trying not to disturb Rob's operations, and I know just a little bit of the project includes doing some interior renovations to his existing bathrooms and so forth. So other than that, we are currently set to commission the generator that the town bought about a year ago. And needless to say, Cummings, these vendors, getting antsy about getting it commissioned and online. And tomorrow we are pouring the foundations for that, and then it'll be online on by the 28th of the month. Currently, we are tracking to be substantially complete by the mid-November date. I think it's November 15th at this point. We are tracking a little ahead of schedule, but I don't want to promise anything. I'd rather keep it. We are on schedule right now. And again, we are working toward naturally accelerating. Anytime we can, we are trying to accelerate opportunities and advance the project so that we're trying to beat the winter weather. And God only knows when the winter weather is coming here, but it definitely is coming. We've been hit with some severe rain, a couple of issues that we've discovered, unforeseen issues. It is a very wet site, so it had when we discovered how wet it was when we started digging both additions. So the engineering team came up with a resolution. We implemented it. It is actually moved past it, so we are currently. It delayed us about 4 days, but we did make up the 4 days of time. And then there was another issue of some existing water mains they had that ended up being right in the foundation of the office addition, which would have been relocated. And some of the old infrastructure has been replaced that was there for, I don't know, God only knows, 30, 40 years. So that's currently, we were moved past all the problems, and I look forward to keeping the project on track. I do have a daily communication meeting with all the contractors, coordination, just to make sure everybody's talking to one another. I believe in full, partnering, and we're all working this together. So included in the packet, like I said, is everything from the payment log to the master schedule, my summary, and I do a contingency allowance log that's in there right now because we did include contingency allowances in the bid packages. And then at the end of the process, whatever remaining contingency money will be credited back to the town. So it just keeps us moving, so we don't have to keep coming back and forth and say we need another, $10 or $5 or what have you. If anyone needs anything from me, Nancy, I'm available to take your calls. I really encourage you to visit the site. Right now, really nothing to see, but in the next couple, except foundations, but in the next couple of weeks, you'll see the building going up, and when the building goes up, it really gets exciting because the building and all the finishes, and Sarah has been very helpful with picking out the finishes. I don't do finishes, I just, colors aren't my bag, so. But again, I want to thank everyone here, thank the board, and again, thank the supervisor, Sarah, and Carrie. And so, like I said, we're going to continue the project and keep it moving in the right direction. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Does any of the board members have any questions?
Could someone let us know when the building is actually starting to go up? Because I would like to drive by. I mean, the foundation, while interesting,
it's not really
yeah. It might not be as appealing, but Sarah, if you could just email the board when there's something to look at.
Sounds like
I will
looks like we can get that done.
I will fix it. I'll make sure you guys.
Okay.
Right now, it's looking like they'll start erecting the week of the 21st. So I'm going to say the end of the month, you'll actually see the building taking shape. The first phase is always they're just setting columns and so forth. But by the end of the month, early August, it'll be a great time to come and take a look at it and take a look at the site. Actually, the office addition steel is coming. Actually, it's coming Monday as well. So we have both additions will be going up, the garage and the addition will be going up at the same time. So.
That's so exciting.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next up, we have the public hearing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've left this open, right?
We did. Yes, we did.
All right, so this is the public hearing on the proposed local law amendment. This is for Chapter 155, Section 20.2 of the Town Code, entitled Plan Unit Developments. The subject of this law is to add RA, restricted agriculture, as a zone that is eligible for a PUD, a Plan Unit Development. And so we will continue the public hearing. So if anyone here would like to speak, just please raise your hand. Yeah, come on up.
Hey everyone, my name is Don Gates. I was still am, the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. And out of the Manlius Comprehensive Plan, one of the directives in the plan was one of the comments we heard often were issues regarding drainage and flooding and water quality. And out of the Comprehensive Plan and the recognition of those water issues formed a town group called the Town of Manlius Water Stewards Group. And there's a webpage on the website on the Town of Manlius. And so over the past year, I'm not sure how long this group's been meeting. It's been a year and a half, I think, that the Manlius Water Stewards Group has been meeting. And we've been meeting with residents who have expressed concerns to us through the website or through other ways to hear the problems that they're having regarding flooding, drainage, and other issues. One resident in particular, a group of us from the Water Stewards Group went out and visited her property, and which includes not only her home, but also farmland that she rents out. And we got to see firsthand some of the issues that she has encountered regarding drainage that's impacting her adversely, the farmland, and also how it's impacted her well water. So I am currently working with the water stewards to develop a little history of what's happened so maybe we can learn from her experiences to better inform the board of better policy decisions in the future. But she also brought to my attention this issue that she saw the PUD request, and she was very concerned about this because she's concerned that she's had multiple experiences with developments around her property adversely affecting her drainage and water issues. And she's not against development. She's all for people maintaining their interest in their property, but she also would like in this PUD to see language that protects her and her neighbor's interest in terms of water issues. So if it's possible, that maybe this public hearing remain open and maybe consider language to add to the PUD. I'm not getting the wording right, but something that would give a higher level of scrutiny or level of review, so that when a PUD is concerned in an RA zone, that there's a greater inspection around drainage issues, well water issues, septic issues. I think that would give her and her neighbors who have expressed concerns to her as well, that there will be wise and effective development occurring around them. And one of the things that she would like to see is potentially a meeting with some of the representatives of the town or maybe the water stewards group to hear, so they can give feedback on this proposed PUD law amendment. So my suggestion is, let's get the language right. Let's make sure it protects the interest of somebody who's proposing a project, but also all the adjoining properties. And the thing about water is it's just not the neighboring property, it's properties that are multiple properties away that can be impacted by the way water goes. So I appreciate the time to be able to speak on behalf of these residents of the town of Manlius, and they're very appreciative of the comprehensive plan and the water stewards group coming out and meeting with them to hear their concerns. And they would like to see this process go forward, but with some of their input if possible. So,
That's great. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else here for a comment? Okay, so unless the board is otherwise inclined, I think we can keep this open, and my hope would be maybe we can work with the attorneys to add some language that, quite honestly, isn't just for the RA portion of the PUD law, but to make it more clear that, you know, these developments are under strict scrutiny and brought into compliance with the comprehensive plan, and also just kind of reiterate, you know, that, you know, there's going to be a SWIP for these projects, that, you know, drainage will be properly managed. I don't think that's a too hard to do to make sure that we've got everybody's confidence that we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, John, I think that's right.
John,
So, Sarah, go ahead.
so I agree with that. I think a SWIP would be required anyway, because most of them would disturb more than 1 acre. But I like what was said by the resident around protecting water and sewer, that in an RA district, you don't have public water and sewer. Most of the other districts where PUDs would be permitted would do that. So I think a higher level of caution would be appropriate to include.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. That's exactly right. And so I think that the residents' advice of having watershed stewards actually facilitate the public input session on this would be wonderful. Because again, you know, currently we've approved PUDs and, you know, denser districts and commercial districts. And again, the RA parcels are folks who have a greater likelihood of being on wells and septic systems. And so where issues are going to be much more complex to mitigate than they would be in an R5 or a commercial district. So I think even just a brief clause, just a very simple modification of the law as presented would satisfy this with respect to an RA application, in an RA zone. So if we're comfortable leaving this open and not moving on it to perfect the language, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll definitely take a motion. We will try our best to get input from the concerned folks within a reasonable amount of time. 3 weeks, possible.
Okay. Great. So we will move on. So next up, we have the final order for the Enders Road Sidewalk District. So this is us just kind of wrapping up that whole project. We are still waiting for comptroller approval. But that being said, it's probably in our best interest to get this final order done so that we can show the comptroller that this is a fully formed district and it's ready to be approved. Are there any questions on this? Okay, so one thing I did want to highlight here, that this does, as we are, actually creating the district, this final order is subject to a permissive referendum. So that is if there are a number of folks that are affected by this district want to pass a petition, it can force a special election. Given that we went through the process of having petitions done through the district with almost 65% of the residents signing on, that was kind of the whole plan, was so that we could create the district and it not likely have to go to a special election. So unless the consensus of the neighborhood has changed significantly, that'll be 30 days from the filing of this. So if there's no questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to adopt the order.
Motion to adopt the final order forming the Undertow Sidewalk District subject to final comptroller approval. Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, all those opposed? And Mike Neshy's not present for the vote. Okay. So I am seeing that actually the referendum window has passed. Thank you to the town clerk for letting me know. So this is just us kind of like putting the final bow on the whole ordeal. So fantastic. So we will get that forwarded to the comptroller's office, and we are very hopeful that they will give us an answer as to whether or not the Enders Road sidewalk is okay to move forward with. So fantastic. Okay, so next up, we have Labella survey proposal for the Enders Road sidewalk. So this was, I believe we had it on the last agenda. This is a pretty comprehensive survey of Enders Road, as well as some of the clerical work to figure out rights of way and access agreements and things like that. So we did ask Labella to add a little bit more detail. In doing that, they did add, I want to say it's $3,400 or $3,900 in the total cost. And just as a reminder, so this is a expense that will be covered by the remainder of the sidewalk, neighborhood sidewalk program fund, with the understanding that assuming this district is created, the district will then pay back the cost, as they have to bear the full cost of the district creation. Are there any questions on this or any comments? Okay, so I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the proposal from Labella for professional survey services for Enders Road in the amount of $41,400. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okie doke. Okay, so a decommissioning agreement. This is for the solar project on 7869 Peck Road. This is just getting this decommissioning agreement in place. Are there any questions on this? I know we've done a number of these over the years, but is there any questions as to the format of this or any particulars? Okay, so if there's no conversation, then I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the town supervisor to execute a decommissioning agreement related to the solar development at 7869 Peck Road, subject to the final vote approval.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, all those opposed? Okay, motion carries. So now for some bad news. So we, as we've experienced pretty heavy rains, as was alluded to in the previous presentation. So what we have prepared for the board tonight is two kind of emergency maintenance situations here. So one of them, this is for the fire alarm control panel. This is to make sure that the fire alarm works when there is a fire. Due to some issues with the current panel, this has caused a false alarm, and it's also led to some other issues just kind of operationally within town hall. The total cost for that is $6,507.92. And then any questions on that piece? Okay. So then we have a quote from WCA Roofing and Sheet Metal Incorporated. During the spring, we worked pretty closely with Chris Peck, our buildings person here. We were looking for some options as to how to address the issue with the roof. If anybody is not aware, we have turkey pans kind of scattered throughout the drop ceilings of Town Hall to catch water that is dripping through the roof. This has caused some pretty substantial issues in the building, as well as just kind of quality of life issues. And so WCA is someone that we've worked with in the past. And so what we wanted to do was we brought them in and we asked them to kind of give us all the options that made sense. And so we've had them do patches before, and those are kind of hit or miss. If they work, they work, and sometimes they only work for a couple of rainstorms. And then we have option 2. So this is kind of that mid-tier option where it's reinstalling portions of it and then maintenance and repair in certain other places. And then option number 3 is the quote for a full roof replacement, essentially. Given a number of different things that we've got going on with the new building project being discussed, but also trying to understand, exactly what we want to do with the current roof. My suggestion to the board is to move forward with option 2. There will be some discussion. If you've seen, there are 6 areas that were quoted separately within the quote. And we are going to be looking at exactly which of those areas really need the attention. Just so that everybody knows, the main area of concern is the part of the roof that kind of sits over the back offices up in the first or the second story of Town Hall. So this is assessment, planning, the clerk's office, and tax. That's really where we've got some of the most major issues. Even I think the last time it rained pretty severely, we had water dripping down the clerk's office window. So the motion that's prepared is for up to $132,950, with the understanding that we will be working with WCA to understand exactly what is needed to get us to where we need to be so that we have less issues with the roof. So any questions or any concerns about this? Ingrid?
Yeah, so is area A, the area by your office on the second floor, does that cover where the main part of the leakage is, or is that what you still need to confirm?
Yeah, so area A is that main area where we're seeing kind of the majority of the leakage. And we're looking at a couple of places. There are leaks in what is considered area B, which is basically the roof from my office all the way down to the boardroom. Area B would also include over the comptroller's office, which we have had some leaking issues in. So, what I would say is we're probably definitely on the hook for A and B, but a conversation to follow for the rest of them. Particularly C and F are the overhangs over some of the doors, which are likely less important. I don't know if we have any major drainage or leaking issues there, but we'll be, part of this conversation will be figuring out exactly what can happen, and also working with WCA to understand, if this is something that we can patch the main areas this time, and then maybe look at patching other areas if we are moving forward with the renovation of the current town hall. That might be something where we kind of like phase this depending on the outcome of what happens in November. And so again, the goal here is to be approved up to $132,950, and the hope is to kind of bring that back down as much as we can.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? And then one thing I will note here, given that these are emergency repairs, we did do our due diligence, especially with the roof, trying to find alternate bids. But, like I said, Chris worked really hard to try and get as many offers in here, and WCA was the only one that was able to actually get in here and get us a quote. So the other thing about this is we're not going to be doing what we traditionally do, which is like a budget transfer to cover these costs. We're going to be putting this against the building repairs line and allow that line to go negative, with the understanding that as other things come in under budget, we'll be able to kind of move that money back But given that this is a large expense and we don't necessarily have a portion of the budget to transfer in to cover these costs, kind of, as I discussed with the comptroller, the goal here, again, with our budget is to kind of show that we are actively tending to it and that the budget reflects the reality of how dollars are being spent. And so the goal here isn't to, figure out right now where we're moving all this money from. Towards the end of the year, we usually go around and find a couple different pockets in the budget, and the goal will be to kind of backfill the building repairs line to cover these costs towards the end of the year. Okay, so if there's no other questions, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the proposal from WCA Roofing and Sheet Metal Co. Incorporated for option number 2 for repairs to town hall roof up to the listed bid amount of $132,915.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I'll take a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the agreement with Davis Home and Fire Protection in the amount of $6,507.92 for replacement of the fire panel at town hall.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. This is much needed. I'm happy we were able to get this done, and we're going to be reaching out to WCA as soon as possible to get in line for the roof repairs. So next up on the agenda, we had the New York State Retirement Standard Workday and Reporting Resolution. That's been tabled for now, so we'll revisit that at the next meeting. And then we have an RFP here. This is for planning services for the Climate Smart Zoning Project. So this is the rezoning project that we did receive grant funding for. And so this is the RFP to find a vendor who can, help us through that project. And, over the course of, roughly 2 years, help us, redetermine our zoning map to be more in line with the recently adopted comprehensive plan, and to, hopefully, get our zoning to a point that it reflects what the community is looking for, as development continues within the town. So any questions on that or any other comments?
It's just really timely given the discussion we've had tonight about RA zone districts right now, that as part of this proposal, and as part of this RFP, specifically looking at RA. And, specifically the concerns and issues around stormwater management for the team. So I think it's a great project. I feel lucky we received the funding to do it, and I think it's a great thing. So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the publication of the request for the proposal for planning services regarding the climate smart zoning project. Let's do this.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have another RFP. So this is for dog control services. So we did have a couple of folks reach out with questions about exactly how our dog control services work. We have been with the same provider for quite a while, but as this board has made it a priority to rebid out services, that we've been sticking with the same provider for a little while. This is just good housekeeping. We've put together the RFP. We've also detailed a couple of things that people have asked for, some more detail about exactly the services that are provided, some understanding of, exactly how these, how the operation of providing dog control to the town works. So any questions on this? Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to authorize the publication of other requests for proposals for dog control services.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Fantastic. Okay, motion passes. So next up, we have a town highway permit. This is for Verizon on Dartmoor Crossing. This has been reviewed by the highway superintendent. It looks like they're going to be burying some cabling over on Dartmoor Crossing. And my understanding too is that the highway superintendent is coordinating with Verizon on this to ensure that there's no, loss of, I believe Dartmoor Crossing is in the paving schedule this year. So any questions on this? Okay. I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the highway department permit application submitted by Bryson, New York, Inc. to direct ferry 214 feet of 2-inch inner duct along south side of Dartmouth Crossing to existing pedestal as shown on attached map.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. So next up, we have our EAP, Employee Assistance Program. This is a renewal agreement for these services for the next calendar year. Any questions on this?
Just asking, anything changed this year? No? Right, similar, usage similar. Similar.
The dollar per employee increase, which fair, because there were years where it was just.
Any feedback from employees who use it? I mean, obviously it's anonymous and whatever, but is there a favorable? I'm selfishly asked because I'm constantly advocating for people to get there for use, not just.
I think we will get feedback, but I have lots of people mentioning that they made contact.
We try to make it more.
Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the employee assistance program agreement between the town of Manlius and Employee Services LLC, TPA, ESI, Employee Assistance Group, effective July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. So some good news. I hope everyone remembers, we were looking at doing an upgrade to Encode 10. We currently are on Encode 9. As we were going through that upgrade process, what we realized was the implementation of Encode 10 wasn't really consistent with 9. It was very much a different accounting system that really didn't have a one-to-one mapping for how things operate within Town Hall. And so we were able to work with Encode. They got us onto their pilot program for Encode 9 on the cloud. Myself and the comptroller have been using that interface to pretty good success. It does actually get us a lot of the things that we were looking for in the upgrade. Some better reporting, much easier to use in my opinion, accessible from anywhere, not just generally speaking on your computer that is on the town's network. And so as we were going through that process of kind of going from an upgrade to 10 to now kind of transitioning into how we make 9 work and kind of meet the needs that we had, they have sent over an amendment to remove $9,120 from the original agreement we signed, which was basically, the implementation of a couple of the different pieces there. So this is good. Any questions on this?
No interruption in the service, will we do this? It's just something we're not using anyway.
Yeah, no, so we've kind of stopped that whole, go for it, Maria.
No, we're currently not using 10 at all. It never got installed. We went through the training. It was terrible. 9 Cloud, Alyssa's seen it. It's great. She was so excited to see it. I showed it to her today. So,
Hey, any other questions or I'd entertain a motion?
Whatever what the new price is gonna be for this? It's a little, I got a little confused looking at what the savings is versus what the new total amount's gonna be.
Well, so what we've done is we've added 2 modules within Encode 9 to meet a lot of the requirements that we had. And so this was the original quote for what it was going to cost for us to get to Encode 10. And so what they did was they took a look at the services that were rendered and reduced that invoice to remove the things. So I know I need to talk to Maria about this. I don't remember whether or not the outstanding, I want to say about $6,000 was paid or not, but we did have that in last year's budget. So, we are going to pay for the services we received, understanding too that most of those services we received help us find the solution we were looking for. So this is, essentially $9,000. We didn't use those services, and they're removing them from the agreement to reduce our overall liability.
So the $15,000 is $9,000, approximately less than what we were supposed
Yes.
to do? Okay, that's just frustrating. Thanks. That was a long way to get to it, but thank you. All right, so I'll make a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the amendment with Tyler Technologies, removing unused services from the agreement dated June 5th, 2023, effective June 13th, 2025, subject to final legal review.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. So before we kind of run towards the end of the meeting here, are there any updates or announcements or anything anybody would like to share?
Manlius musical is coming up July 18th, 2 weeks away. Please get your tickets. It's all shook up. Oh, no, not me. Would not do it justice. Oh, maybe the chief, but he's got a big grin on his face over there.
The Economic Development Committee hosted the business roundtable meeting this morning, and it went extremely well. It was extremely well attended. We had over 50 people there. It was great. I don't know if the recording worked, so John, it didn't look like the owl was on. But we'll have to see. The Wi-Fi in there was not good, so I don't know if that maybe impacted it, but we'll have to check.
Yeah, we'll take a look, because that was recording straight to Hank's laptop. So hopefully it's there, but plenty of people were there. So if if we didn't get the recording, I will try to stop by tomorrow morning to reassess and get that set up.
Yeah, got great feedback, and a lot of the businesses, they got resources they did not know existed. I think it was really helpful. I got great feedback from several people just this morning, and we've got the leadership roundtable tomorrow, so hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Fantastic, thank you.
The Watershed Stewards has developed a subcommittee to review town code for impertinent areas, and had a meeting last week and continue to work through part 126, 127, 125. These are stormwater management, subdivision of land, but also are now looking at part 66, establishing critical environmental areas. So we'll have some summary recommendations on that within the next month or two. Really great work by the Watershed Stewards.
Great, thank you. Okay, so moving on, we have the supervisor's report for June 2025.
Make a motion to approve the supervisor's report.
So we have a motion from Sarah.
I'll second the supervisor's report.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And we've got a couple budget transfers prepared.
Yeah, sure. I'll make a motion to move 3,000 from the A Fund 5.1620.405 Information Technology in the buildings to the A Fund 5.1620.440 repairs and buildings.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to $1,000 to A Fund 5.1220.406 investment fees supervisor to A Fund 5.1220.402 seminars and conferences supervisor.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. I will say that second transfer there was to cover the costs of Deputy Town Manager going to a conference that we debriefed about earlier this week, and it sounds like it was fantastic. A lot of good takeaways. So, Kay, thank you for doing that and bringing lots of good stuff back to the town. So then next up, we've got the approval of the minutes, first for June 25th, and then for the special meeting we had on July 2nd.
It's okay. I'll make a motion to approve the draft minutes of the June 25th, 25 regular meeting of the board.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
All right, make a motion to approve the special meeting draft minutes of the July 2nd, 2025 meeting of this board.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And any abstain? Okay. Then last up, we have the approval of abstract number 13.
I don't have a number in front of me, so I will second.
I will make a motion to approve the abstract in the amount of $656,453.01.
And Sarah has preemptively seconded the motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Seeing no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Isha.
Okay, all those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, have a